we go again. What are we doing today? Let's sort the stuff in my inventory real quick into the chests. What else we got? Eggs, spider eye. I guess maybe we'll light the village up a little more today. In that case, we need most of the stuff in our inventory, I believe. Not this, though. No, not this either. Let's take this disc out, too. Maybe we'll look for some more discs today as well. I need an axe in the event. Ooh, steak. In the event that I make a mistake on my lampposts. What else we got? We are gonna need some coal. We'll use the charcoal, sure. And then, what did I just do? Oh yeah, I need an axe. Alright, let's go. I am wondering whether this is a good idea because it's kind of hard to tell where we need the lampposts when it's not dark out already, but we're gonna try it. Here are my donkeys. I guess I should do something for them. Will he wander off and despawn if I untie him from the post? Feels kind of mean to just have him tied up like that. We'll think on it. I was trying to find a decent video topic today. Couldn't find one really. I guess I should probably add slabs to the main paths of the village as well. And make this more consistent and pretty. We're laggy than usual today. It has something to do with my mouse or the video settings. Sometimes messing with the video settings helps. Didn't today. Alright, let's throw another lamppost right here then. Sure. Today is Good Friday in real life. Good Friday was more significant to me growing up, as I grew up Christian. Somewhere along the line, I deconverted. Maybe I have some sort of Good Friday stories I can tell about growing up. Maybe we'll just do a little story time. What happened on Easter? What are our Easter traditions, or our Good Friday traditions? So, for anyone who didn't grow up in a similar Christian cultural place to me, on Good Friday is the Friday before Easter. Easter is a commemoration, for some a celebration, of the supposed death of Jesus Christ, crucifixion, which is basically when you get nailed up to a cross-shaped piece of wood and then you die over the course of many hours. I think technically the way you die is you lose the strength to hold yourself up and then you suffocate, maybe? Maybe that's one of the ways you can die from it. And some people just watch you die. I think it technically was a form of capital punishment. I think it's government based. I don't know if crucifixions happened just by everyday people. I think it was a government thing. Always, but I don't know all that much about it. Don't hold me to that. And then Good Friday, Good Friday is the day that happened. Easter is the day, 3 days later, that, so the story goes, Jesus rose from the dead. His tomb was empty. He appeared to many. So today's the day that, it's the dark day that the Jesus died. But according to the theories that I grew up with, his death resulted in the salvation of a group of people. That might be believers, depending on your beliefs. That might be anyone who believes in him. That might be, some people are universalists, so they think that Jesus' death basically saved everybody in the whole world from their sin, whether they believe or not, which I think is a cooler structured belief system, at least more sympathetic, less seemingly dubious. Yeah, so we, in my church growing up, we had a church service on Good Friday as well as a church service on Easter Sunday. I mean, there's a church service every Sunday, but usually there's not a service on Friday in the church I grew up in. But on Good Friday there is. And usually it's a little mournful, it's a little dark and sad, in order to lay the ground for a joyous moment on the Sunday when everyone gets to come together and celebrate the rising of the Christ. In our church, on the Easter Sunday, we would end up saying, there's a call and response gig thing we do, where whoever's up front, usually the person who's leading the worship songs, would say, "He is risen," and then the congregation together would say, "He is risen indeed." I always kind of wonder how that sounds to regular people. Like, does that sound culty? Wouldn't surprise me if it did sound a little bit culty, but it was just so, it's just how I grew up. It seemed natural. Still seems relatively natural. Let's go get some more dirt to terraform a little bit. Yeah, so we'd have the Sunday service, the Friday service, and be a little sadder and dark. I think our church had a tradition of ending the service in darkness, so like they turned off all the lights. Then probably have some moments of contemplation in the dark, and then you could leave the room whenever you wanted to. Most people didn't stay that long, but usually you're supposed to hang around for a little bit. I think that was the vibe. To contemplate the situation. Anything else about Good Friday? I mean, it was pretty regular church service in other ways. Oh yeah, I meant to mention that I said that according to like some theories, the reason Jesus died was to save people from the punishment associated with their wrongdoings, to clear their name before the big God in the sky. I think most people have heard the phrase "died for your sins" when associated with Jesus, but I've always been curious what people who absolutely just did not grow up going to church, I've always been curious what their thoughts were on it, like if they understood, how much they understood the meaning behind it, or if it's just a thing they heard. But there are other theories. There's multiple kind of atonement theories, even, of what, basically theories in theology of what Jesus' death on the cross actually did, what it accomplished. Not everyone believes the same things. Some people, I think, don't even believe it was atonement based at all. So it wasn't even about saving man from punishment. Mankind, that is. I could probably think of what would I find an interesting one, just as a thought experiment. What would be an interesting theory for why Jesus died? If I were still a Christian, what would be a compelling one? I think my gut reaction is I like the idea of Jesus being God incarnate, and the reason that he came to live bodily as a human is to understand the human experience in a way that he couldn't otherwise, which is already heretical if you require God to be all-knowing. That means God should fully know the scope of the human experience of suffering. But I like the idea that there's only one way to know the extent of human suffering, and that is to live inside of the experience. Ooh, a baby. Aww. Whose bed did that? There needs to be an extra bed. Oh, maybe a villager died from the zombies. All right, it's getting dark now, so we can tell where we need light. And right here, we definitely need light. Let's do it right here. So yeah, I like that idea of atonement, or not atonement really. It's not about atonement at all. It's more just about God, the progenitor, being incarnated in order to understand the full extent of human suffering. Now, would he have to die in order to do that? I mean, I guess in my little theory that I'm running here, the reason he dies, and in such a cruel way at that, is so he would suffer the most to understand those who suffered the most. But that feels a little bit like a stretch. I feel like I need to refine that idea a little bit. But that's the basic vibe I got going for you of my preferences and theories for God's incarnation. It's not even, I don't even think it's the scholarly consensus that or at least there's some people that detract from the claim that Jesus even claimed to be God historically. So there's a chance that Jesus, the historical figure, didn't claim to be God. He was claiming to be something else. A prophet, secret third thing. There's all sorts of different beliefs about the situation. And it might technically be the consensus that he claimed to be God, but there's like at least a good amount of scholars and people that are not sure whether he claimed to be God or not. Not 100% sure what the situation is there. I don't know the exact statistics of it. Let's throw another post right here. Yeah, so if I were to be a believer nowadays, it would, and if I were to attempt to try find a version of Christianity compelling, it would have to be something like that. I don't find it compelling that a good God would be so, I don't know, preoccupied with the sins of people, or even that he would consider the sins of people sins at all. I just don't find that consistent or compelling. It's aside from the fact of whether I think the beliefs are true in the first place about... I feel like there's barely any villagers. Are they all dead? Let's make sure. Let's check. Maybe that's why these doors are all open. Okay, no. Some of them are alive. We have that going for us. Let's throw one more over here. I would prefer it to be like right here. I can do it here. It's going to be really close to the tree, but that's fine. So I guess this is the Good Friday and Jesus episode. And lighting the village up feels kind of thematically appropriate. And yeah, our farm's doing great over here. That we're lighting the village up in preparation for the rising of the Christ. What does the rising of the Christ have to do in my perfect theology? What is it? What is the purpose of Christ rising after he died? Is it to signify to mankind that there is hope for goodness beyond its suffering? I like that. I like the sound of that. Got any skeletons around here? We got 2 creepers. It wasn't clear. I'm looking for a music disc. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Let's go up to our house and look down at the village and see what areas might need lighting. Well, this one's not doing great. It's just that I just feel like that maybe there's too many lampposts. It's getting a little cluttered at this point. Whether or not we need it to be more lit for safety reasons for the villagers. Oh, this definitely needs one right here. Right here. Maybe we'll do more Jesus talk on actual Easter. We have more ideas. Is there anything else about Good Friday? Are there any other things we did on Good Friday? I don't think so. Skeletons over there? So many monsters, it's hard to just get a, man, zombies grow onto you. Shoot. Of course. I'm gonna need to fill tons of creeper holes at some point. Maybe I ought to start carrying a lot of dirt around with me. Skeleton! Come on. Let's eat some steak. It's our first consumption of meat, I believe, in the whole series. I don't want to commemorate it because I don't want to glorify consumption of matter that used to be a living being. Seems unbecoming. Alright, the sun is rising, so we should probably do one more post and go sleep. I don't know what playlist I'm gonna add this video to. It's not... I didn't really tell any stories. I kind of just talked a little bit about the belief system I was raised in. We'll figure it out. For any unaware, if you're still watching, we do have playlists of the kind of video, the subject matter I discuss. So there's like philosophical ones, there's storytime ones. But yeah, that'll be it for today. I'll see everyone tomorrow.